So to begin with, you need to make your entire face white, but you can only make it up until your neck, or you don't need to make your neck white. Next, you need to make your eyes, so you need a black lid and then a black line underneath. You also might want to put mascara on, as you have whited your face, so your eyelashes might be white. That's personal preference. Next, you need to do black eyebrows, so paint them on with black face paint. And finally, you put red lipstick on.
So, here we have all the pieces of the Red Brigade costume. We're starting out with the sort of skirt. So once you've got your base layer, ideally of red or reddish things, this is like the skirt that kind of goes on the first layer around the waist. And you want to sort of get it high enough so it sort of covers the feet, and tie the top corners. So the gap sort of disappears here at the back. Because mostly you're in procession and it's all from the front. And then the next crucial factor is the toga sort of piece. Like I said, we were really lucky we got all this red velvet, but it's really good if the togas are all sort of uniform material, so then you all match. And you can kind of adjust it. You want it to basically kind of be like covering the feet as much as possible, but not so much to trip over. And then you tie that with one of these. And then you can kind of swoosh it. Yeah, and get a nice hang on the front. Cool. Next part is like a neck scarf. It's like a triangle of material. And the idea is that you cover this sort of neck area with that. So we want to try and sort of cover all the skin basically. Skin is thin, as we used to say. Then do you want to put the headdress on? Cool. So the idea is that these bits kind of frame the face.
Right, so.
Yeah, that's great. And then the gloves.
Sorry.
Involuntary clown syndrome. So yeah, depending on the sort of shirt, you can also put, if you've got a more floppy shirt, you can put the sleeves outside, or if it's a tighter one, then you want to put those on to your liking.
I tie it. Do you tie it?
Yeah. These like sort of floaty material, which we sort of save specifically for these, for the wrists and the veils. So they blow about really nice in the wind. So that's the kind of classic stance. So very open with the arms out, and we process like that. And then all the movement wants to be very slow and controlled. So when we call the veils up, we do that quite sort of slowly. And you can kind of gather them Yeah, and then that's a really nice reveal, especially if you all do that at the same time. And then if you want to sort of just strike some poses, so like a classic statue, one arm up, one arm down. And with the eye movement, it's really, so the more you can control the movements, the better it is. So if you're going to blink, try blinking really slowly. Yeah, which is lots more emotive. And then you could just do a little bit of walking maybe, back down to the original pose. A bit slower. Whenever we stop, we do formations around statues or around architecture or at the gates of Downing Street or whatever the place is. So sort of finding a good place to do like a tableau situation. And then we'd call different emotions for the different sort of movements, and the idea is that when there's a lot of you, you kind of connect, and you can connect physically, and also you just sort of connected. So when you feel someone moving, that's the call to move. So whoever's striking a pose that maybe gets uncomfortable, they're probably going to move first, and when you feel that, you go with it. So we'd do some basic emotion calls like love was very popular. Nice and slow. So then just sort of radiating that kind of energy of love and holding that until whoever's in the position moves. And then another one was like sorrow. And then holding that. And then say victory. Very nice and slow in the next one. So something like joy, for example, so like giving joy out to the people that are watching. So yeah, that's much better speed for the tableaus. And freezing that. So maybe hold that for like generally 30 seconds to a minute is how we're doing the holds. And then call another one like morning. So like if you hear it more slowly. Yeah, so the slower you are, the more powerful it is, and it's quite hard here in our little rehearsal room. But yeah, and sometimes you have to march to get places and stuff like that. And then the way we would make it seem really choreographed, whoever's in front is leading. So if I'm leading the procession and everyone's following in two lines or a single line, then as soon as I put my arm up, everybody behind does the same pose or the same posture. So even if you've got like 20 of you, as long as everyone's following the lead, it can become quite easily to choreograph. For example, so it's a basic follow the leader sort of rule. And if you don't know what you're doing, look like you do. So if you're at the front and no one can see you and everyone's behind you, that means you're in charge. So therefore you can call it and I'll follow you, whatever it is you're doing. So just keeping that awareness and not really trying not to look too much. So you want to avoid like rapid head movements and stuff and realise that it doesn't matter. It's better not to break the picture than it is to move too fast and then suddenly I'm in the lead again. And that can carry on. So you can kind of do stops. These kind of movements. I'm doing a bit of classic funeral. the sort of contact stuff you can do. Also very powerful. And this sort of speed is really powerful, because it takes it out of this sort of world and this time. So me and Justine did quite a lot of like leading in twos as well. So then everyone on the right would follow my lead, and everyone on the left would follow Justine's. So like this sort of pace, also really strong.